y'all gonna talk about? I was like, all right, I'll give y'all a bone, but after that, that's it.
Bro, I peeped 10 seconds into it. I had to shut it off, dog. Like, I couldn't even see it. That's how bad this shit is, you know?
Definitely.
So, he said 10 seconds.
Because we're gonna get into that in a second. But one thing about it, we got to do this like Shaq, like Kobe threw the lob to Shaq against the Blazers. In the Western Conference Finals in 2000. When you say in terms of you got the chance to rub shoulders and see artists come from the ground up, and you know where I'm going with this, Armando, because we talked about this. There's this crew out in Buffalo, that have been doing it, and they seem to got a nice little following doing their thing. Some boys by the name of Griselda that I think you're very familiar with, and. Yeah, and you were actually, you were actually the first person out on the West Coast to bring them to California, and because you saw the talent that these guys had. Shout out, of course, the City Boy, Benny, Westside, and Conway. Of course, Keisha Plume. They're mad. Harley Quinn, villainous poetress on it as well. Griselda's been killing it for really, in terms of having that public notoriety for roughly the past 3-4 years, really, really get it out there. And you were the first one you and your people were the first ones to bring them out there. Tell our audience about how that came to be in terms of it, because this is also a situation about finding those gems before they truly become the treasure to the masses. Tell us that story. Tell our audience that story.
Well, yeah, pretty much since 2015, 2014, we've been promoting these guys for a hell of a long time. When it comes to their early mixtape days, right, Westside Gun and Benny and stuff, because these guys been rapping for a while now. So
right,
just out of nowhere, they just gained some momentum out here in the West Coast, and us being pretty much a good figure in the underground hip hop community when it comes to an outlet and when it comes to throwing concerts out here. We're one of the few groups out here that throws some of the best hip hop concerts you can think of out here when it comes to underground hip hop. At any
right.
given concert that we host, we draw anywhere between 500 to 1,500 people, right? So we try to book names that could fill up those crowds and fill up those venues, right?
Right.
So us being fans of the Griselda brand and their music and their momentum, one thing led to another, and we had Benny come to our office, and we did a sit-down interview with him. We did a mic session with him where we actually have artists perform in front of our logo, a single off the new album or whatever. And we upload all those videos, by the way, on our YouTube channel, which you can find at UGHHBLOG. YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
We've had over like 500, 600 mic sessions. They're really dope. But anyways, I was able to network with Benny in my office, and I shot him an offer. I was just like, hey guys, what is it going to take to get you guys a show out here? Why is it that no one's booking you guys on a level that you guys should be booked at? And they just had an offer that I guess a lot of promoters didn't understand or didn't respect or couldn't afford or didn't believe in the brand, So
right.
We kept communication, and then within a few months we decided to throw their, I guess, first big Griselda show out here in LA, and thank God the night of we sold out. So it was very hard to sell out that show, but fortunately that night of we sold out, and I think it was 2019? Yeah, 2018 when we did the first Griselda show, and then we just did our last Griselda show a couple months ago at the Nova. So we continue to bring them back every year. So hopefully next year is going to be our third year.
Right. Well, what's been going on, obviously. Because I'm hankering. We all chomping at the bit to jump into the 6ix9ine, but we kind of wanted to finish it out that particular section of questioning with this. In terms of an artist, because you and me, and obviously we're not about disclosing people's pockets on this show, because, but you and me talked about the numbers that they, that they asked for, and how they said, like you said, that, these other people were not trying to respect that. But these guys had obviously already had a following going in. How does that feel, knowing that you all, really were the first on the, West Coast to take that chance on them, and it worked. You actually have a relationship with these guys because, you were willing to go there when other people were hesitant, and now,
right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Because these guys are ultimately, these guys are signed to with Rock Nation now, and, after we get all punishment with nature with this whole situation, like, 2021 is like, these guys could really be on that next level of going to nuclear legendary status.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just trying to look up this flyer that we had. Yeah, it was the Almighty Tour. We had the show July 25th of 2019, right? Mm-hmm. That was our first and their first LA Griselda show. And for both parties, it was a hand and glove fit because they knew the background that we had with them when it comes to promotion. And, there wasn't really a lot of underground outlets that were promoting them as hard as we were in those early years. So, yeah, you're right. It feels kind of good to contribute to a small portion of their growth when it comes to people knowing about the music and whatnot. And then for us to throw their show, and then for them to feel comfortable instantly, understanding an underground hip-hop blog was going to throw the first show. I just think with both parties involved, that's the reason why I think the first show was really a success, because there's not a lot of groups out there in the underground that could sell out a venue 1,500, 1,200 on their first run, so
right.
It felt really, really, really good to get that reassurance that this is some real shit. This is some real hip hop. Like, I've never heard Griselda style in my life. You know what I'm saying? Other than Rock Marcy and the other guys, but the way their music is, the way it's composed and put together with lyrics and their, just the metaphors and the subject matter and the ad libs, it's some of the best hip hop I've ever heard. And it fits right into the underground hip hop category. I think, to me, they're still underground. They're probably the biggest underground hip hop group now, in hip hop. But yeah, it just feels real good to be a part of that, and to have guys like that feel comfortable for us to host them. Because they could be hosted by anyone else, but they just choose to work with us, which is cool, and I appreciate that a lot.